Hi guys. There were so many things coming in today. And I started to jot them down on notes. But as I started to write them down, it really felt like one of these key points was like the main focus of today's message. And yes, this is a channeled message. And, I'm just going to say use your discernment. Use your discernment on whether this applies to you or what parts of this message apply to you, if any. There's so many amazing, beautiful, fast things coming in for you. And I think that's what's making this message very, I want to say jumbled, but I don't know if it really is. There's a lot of things coming in for you in so many areas. I'm hearing love, money, career, friendship, moving and travel, business endeavors, like so many things. So many things coming in. And it's like, which one do you focus on? And maybe you're feeling that way. Like, okay, so which one should I be most excited about? Or which one should I pursue more? Or which one should I focus on? And the answer is all of the above, but also whatever one you feel most aligned with in that moment. Every day changes. Every moment changes. So if you're so excited to be working on your new business endeavor, then that's what you should be excited about and focused on, because your spirit, your soul knows. And I always tell my clients too, outside of a spiritual level, I think everything intertwines spiritually, but I don't necessarily tie it directly in with spirituality when I'm talking with my clients. But I just say, whatever makes you feel most excited. Like, let's use a workout, for example. You're going to go work out. And, maybe you're not super excited to do a workout, but you know that you need to. You know that it's part of your path. I'm literally, a crow just came and landed on the car right in front of me right here. So maybe crows are synchronistic to you. Crows are like divine messengers of just transmutation, but growth, spiritual growth specifically, and just reminders that you're on this growth trajectory. You're growing. But anyways, bring it back with my clients. And you have to do a workout. You know that you got to do this, but you're like, well, it makes me really excited to use my new kettlebells today, or to use my new dumbbell set, or to use my new Bosu ball, or whatever equipment, whatever. Or maybe it makes you feel really excited to go out on a walk or go on a run or do something outside. That's what you should be doing. That's what's most aligned with you. Yeah, so following what you feel most excited about is the message, is the direction, is the trajectory, is the focus. That is the thing in that moment. And if it changes and shifts, okay. Because especially for this collective, like, there's so many things coming in that, yeah, I mean, how could you put all of your focus, 100% of your focus and energy into all of those things at the same time? You can't. And that's the beauty of it. It's because there are things that are meant to be your focus now, and the others that are supposed to be in like a layaway period, or maybe just set aside on the shelf for a little bit, for a few hours, for a few days, for a few weeks, and then you come back to it. There's so many things. So as I was writing this down, that's the message that came in for me. This whole like overlooping. Yeah. Overarching theme as I was writing these things down that were coming in, that like the one that I was most excited about to share with you guys is the main focus of the message. And I will dive into the other things as I feel they need to be brought up in this message. But yeah, there's just, maybe that means something to you guys. And maybe you've been feeling overwhelmed and excited at the same time. Like, there's so many great things, and I can feel the energy, and I can see everything changing. And maybe you're already seeing the abundance flowing in. You're already seeing how these avenues and doors are opening up for you. But you're like, okay, so where do I put my effort into? The one that makes you most excited, boo. The one that makes you most excited in that moment. That's the one that you focus on. If you're most excited to rest that day and not message or text anybody back, or to work on your business, then do it. I mean, obviously you don't want to be sitting here going into a place of just like, yeah, I was going to say, don't get into like a place of just lazy and just live, but that's not you. So that message doesn't need to be said. Follow what you feel is right, because this collective is so in tune with themselves And even if you don't know why, or you don't know what the actual outcome is, you're very much in tune with yourself and you follow with what you feel right. Like, you're not somebody who sits here and forces yourself to do uncomfortable things that you know are not helping you grow or that are not aligned with you anymore. That may have been where you were, but you're not in that place now. So yeah. Anyways. So as I'm looking down at my notes here, because again, there's just a lot coming through. It's interesting as I'm writing this through, it's like I'm still kind of like, well, which one do I talk about? But it's like I have one that I already feel is very much part of the message. But it's just, it's so exciting and overwhelming. It's like, but I want to touch all of them. I want to talk to all of them. Okay, so again, take what resonates and leave what doesn't, because maybe this doesn't align with you right now or doesn't make sense for you right now. And maybe you listen to the message and it doesn't make sense right in this moment, and then it does a couple days from now. You never know, right? But take it how you do. I will try to take in what I'm hearing, feeling, seeing, and also using my own personal experiences and what I'm going through, because I very much feel connected with this collective in many different ways. That was a very shallow breath. My breath is getting a little timid, nervous. And that's the energy from what I'm about to share right now. You might be feeling timid and nervous to continue on this aligned path. Like, you know it's right for you. You know this is the path you're on. But you also know that that means creating space and creating energy for, creating space for new things to come in. And that can mean, cutting off is such a hard word, but like cutting off is what I'm hearing. Like cutting off and setting boundaries with people, ending friendships and relationships, ending things that are not aligned with the path that you're on. And there might not be anything wrong with those things and people, but I feel like this has been a common theme over this past month, and it's kept popping its little head in here, just being like, hi, reminder. The more that you remove and create space for the things that don't serve you, the more abundance and more things that do align with you and serve you come in. And that's how the energy of the universe works. It's like you got to be able to create that space for new things to come in. And I'm hearing that a lot of you guys have already done that in a lot of areas of your life. You may have left a job, you may have left a toxic relationship, or just a relationship that was not really going anywhere for you. You may have set boundaries with friends or family members. You may have moved, changed locations, almost kind of like you're trying to restart your life, trying to start new. You've done a lot of those things, but this message is heavily popping in that there are still a few lingering things or people that are still attached with you, whether they're attached to you and you're allowing it, or you are attached to them, or you are attached to them. And you might be feeling like, I've done the work. Lovingly, like, I've done the work. I've removed myself from the things that were like really, really not aligned with me. I've done so much work, and you have, but I'm also hearing that for all of this, for this new energetic shift, this new timeline, this new portal that's opening up for you to fully walk in and embrace and immerse yourself into it, there's still some things that need to be looked at, is what I'll say. I keep hearing cut off, but like, I feel like that's so harsh. So maybe that's my own ego that's stepping in and saying like, it doesn't need to be cut off. But again, take what resonates with you. But that's what I literally am seeing scissors in front, like in my mind's eye. But it's like cut it, snip the weight that is just holding you down. But I do feel like, depending on how this resonates with you, that could seem a little harsh. But also remember, our ego is here to help protect us, and seemingly help protect us. So you might feel like, oh, that's really harsh. If we're talking about a person, I'm like, oh, like there's nothing wrong with this person. Like, I know that they're not as aligned with me, or like there's some areas where it's really causing me it's draining me, or it's like keeping me at a standstill in this one area, but like I don't need to cut them off. Or maybe it's a job and you're like, yeah, but I mean, this job's bringing in good income, and if I cut it off, what am I going to do? You know, where am I going to go? Like, I know this job isn't the best for me, but it's also not the worst. And so however this resonates with you, and again, it doesn't even have to be a job or a person. This could be something about yourself. Like, this could be an addiction as well too. This could be something that you're like, it's not the worst. And I'm hearing smoking, and this could be smoking cigarettes, marijuana, whatever, but like, you're like, it's helped me cope in so many areas, and I don't overdo it. Or maybe you feel like you don't overdo it, or you feel like it's not that hindering. You recognize that there's areas it has, but take this as you do. I keep needing to say that because I feel like this applies in so many different areas for different people in this collective. And it's not necessarily all three of the things either. I feel like it's one of these things that there's something that's still lingering that needs to be snipped, that needs to be cut out. And I'm saying the word because they're saying, just say it, Eleanor. And it resonates however it needs to with you. But something needs to be looked at and really ask yourself, is it aligned with me and the place that I'm headed? And do I have space for it? Honestly, like, do I have space for it? Not do I want it, because you might want it. You might like it. It might serve a purpose, or may have served a purpose in the past. But like, is it really aligned with me? Is it really helping me in this growth pattern that I've been in, this death and rebirth cycle? Or is it keeping me stuck and stagnant? Yeah. Verb confirmation. And also, yeah, that energy needs to be released, because you can't be getting the things in that you feel are energetically swirling around you if you still have not created that space. If there's still something that's blocking that space, you have to be able to create that space for those things to come in. And I know it's hard for us to understand, as humans, it's hard for us to understand that removing something that isn't necessarily causing damage or pain or hurt, and it's just like a stuck feeling or a little like of an icky feeling, but not anything horribly wrong, that you can trade it out and almost feel like, wait, but I have this absence, I have this like hole, I have this emptiness now that I've cut it out. And to understand that something amazing, and not just of equal value that you cut out, but something even better can come in. That's hard to comprehend and understand, especially if you haven't ever noticed or experienced that. We've all experienced it, but it's whether you've consciously seen it or witnessed it as abundance to yourself. Because you're like, well, let's stick with like a person, whether it's relationship or platonic, a friendship or a romantic. Let's say it's a person that you're really like, you're needing to cut out, or you're needing to limit, set boundaries, see less of, however that resonates with you. And you're like, well, okay, but this person isn't like, they've been in my life for so long, or they've done so many great things, or they've helped me grow to this place that I'm at now. So how could I leave them if they helped me get to this place now? And then wouldn't that just be backstabbing them? Or like, wouldn't that be like, you know, our worldly mind wants to think and tell us that it's selfish to remove a person or remove something, but specifically in this example, if it's a person, to remove a human who also has a conscious mind, who has feelings, who has all of their stuff too, to remove them from your life when they helped you get to the place you're at now. And to also not only, you know, to combat that worldview that you might have of how selfish is that for me to like remove this person from my life after everything they've done for me, but also then to try and understand and comprehend that something even more beautiful and more aligned is coming in to replace that. That has to be very hard. That has to be a very hard concept. I mean, I know it is. I'm not saying it has to be as if I don't know. I know. But like, I'm just saying in a validating sense, that has to be extremely hard to not only look at the person, place, or thing that you know is not aligned anymore with you, and to lovingly release it and feel this hole and gap and space, this empty space seemingly of like, I just left something behind that I didn't have to. I have this hole and empty space, and I'm just supposed to trust and know that something's going to fill it, but that's going to be of better and greater value. And I don't know if that's the right word. That doesn't mean that the next person, if we're again sticking with people, that doesn't mean that this next person is greater or better than this other person. We're all equal here, but that they're more greater aligned with you, that they're going to better help your growth, your cycles of birth and rebirth, of death and rebirth, that their placement in your life is going to be better for you, is going to be better for them. It's going to be mutually reciprocal. Whereas maybe this other person was very much like a you gave, and they took, or whatever. Or maybe you were the attached person and they gave and you just kept taking. So you're like, well, how could I get rid of this person who keeps giving to me? They keep giving me time, love, money, energy, whatever. Like, even if it's sex, you guys, like, they keep giving me these things. How could I just get rid of it and not have it anymore? And I'm just supposed to just know that something greater is coming around the corner, you know? But yes, lovingly, yes. And that's also part of our own growth and looking at ourselves, looking at our worldviews, our perspectives, and saying, how can we shift those? How can we lovingly look at what we believe and what we have believed or followed for so long? How can we lovingly transmute that into something that is more aligned, that is more powerful, that is greater for us in this level of growth, in this new place that you're at? And still have gratefulness for these things, places, people that are being, in a sense, left behind. You're not leaving them behind in the dust to die. It's their journey. It's their thing that they, you are not responsible to care for them. So maybe that's also aligned with you. Maybe that resonates with you, where you're like, but I don't want, if I leave them behind and I'm on this like upward trajectory, how are they going to feel if they see me glow up? And, but that's not your burden to carry. That's not your energy that you need to keep attached with yourself, to worry about where they're going to be or how they're going to feel when you start to continue your growth. And maybe they will see that, and that will be a planting seed for them, and they will grow. And maybe you guys will realign again, or maybe you won't. But maybe that will be something for them. Again, if you're really trying to understand this, again, it's not your place to solve somebody else's life or to help carry them up and drag them with you. It's your responsibility to pay attention to yourself and what feels aligned with you and what keeps you happy, safe, and at peace, and on a growth pattern of it's your job for yourself. And we're taught that when we tell somebody that we're done, whether you leave a relationship or you end a friendship or you stop communicating or talking with somebody, or you walk out of a job that's paid you well and given you great benefits and wasn't anything toxic or anything, that we're being insane or delusional, or that we're being selfish, because how dare we, when these people or these things brought us so much stuff and helped get us to this place. But the truth is, they did not get you to the place you're at. They might have been a part of the process, whether it was a hardship that you had to go through with that person, place, or thing, and now you've grown from that, or whether they physically were like giving you things. They were physically helping you. They were monetarily helping you. It doesn't matter how. They did not get you to the place you're at currently. You did that. They were just a piece of the puzzle. And yes, there's all these pieces that come together to make the whole picture. So yes, you're grateful for them. You're grateful for this job, this person, this place, these things. But you've created the puzzle. You're moving on to the next puzzle. I'm hearing and seeing that was like 100-piece puzzle, and now you're moving on to the 1,000-piece puzzle. So you're on a whole nother picture and puzzle now. They helped create that, and you got to see this beautiful 100-piece puzzle, but now you're moving on to the 1,000-piece puzzle, and there's different pieces, and it's a different picture, and it's on a whole different board. It's different now. So yes, you may have recognized that these things, places, people, even addictions, did help get you to the place you are at now, but you do not owe them anything. And if you feel like you do, the gratitude you have for them or for this thing or for this whatever it was, even substance, this gratefulness that you had for those things is, in a sense, your pay in return, if you want to look at it that way. Not that it has to be that way, because your presence, your energy, the way that you I want to say used, but I want to be careful because that can have a negative connotation with it. But the way that you used these people, places, things, addictions, and not in a like you used and sucked them dry, but the way that you were able to take the tools, the energy from these people, from these things, from these substances, if it was an addiction, so if it was smoking, the way that you were able to use these things to help you on your growth or to help you cope through things as you were growing and healing was your repayment in a sense. You don't have to keep paying. I think that's this otherworldly view and concept that a lot of us subscribe to, that we have to just keep paying back the people, places, things that helped us get here forever. Like if for an eternity, like we always are in debt to them, like we always owe them something. As if it's a person, like they helped you get to this, let's say it's a combination of something. This person helped connect you and network with you to get you this job that you're in right now. But now this person and this job is something that you're cutting out, and you're saying, okay, thank you. I'm grateful for those experiences and those things. And thank you. And you use those resources to help you. And then you're cutting them out, and then you feel like, well, now that I'm getting more money at this new job, or now that I'm in this new relationship that I feel happy with, or now that I have this new car, or now that I'm traveling places, I have to bring those people, places, things with me to continue to show my gratitude. And no, you don't. No, you don't. And you're not selfish for not doing that. Your payment, if you will, was the energy and presence you gave in the time that those things, places, people were there for you, with you at that time. You do not have to keep giving over and over and over and over again as you go through your life. Yeah. Wow. I'm still very much feeling this nervous energy. So although this is the message that's coming through, I would just want to validate that I understand that it's a very hard concept, and it's hard to take action with the things that you know may not be aligned, or that are holding you back, or that you are allowing. Let's just say, because nothing forces and makes you do anything, that you are allowing for these things to hold you back. I say that with love, but even if it's an addiction, you are allowing these things to keep you stagnant. If it's a friendship, you are allowing them to suck the energy from you or to stay attached to you. If it's a job, you are allowing this money or this power or this thing that this job is giving you to keep you in that place, rather than just trusting and knowing. And because I know that you have this deep inner knowing that you're destined for more and greater. And it's not in a selfish way, like, I deserve more. It's like, no, damn it, I do deserve more because I'm capable of it, and I give that as well. And the universe of the energy is reciprocal, and what you put out is destined for you to come back. But if you aren't in a place of receiving and creating that space for it to, you're not going to receive it. The universe, God wants to give to you. They want to give you in return. They want to bless you. But you have to create the space for that, to receive that. And I know that is so hard to do because our society teaches us that it's so selfish, that it's, to leave people behind, to leave jobs, to not be paying back what other people feel is due to them, is owed to them. But that is maybe a worldview that you might still hold, or maybe you're still working through. That's not true. That's not true. And it's not your place and your energy and your baggage to hold and carry to help these people grow and go on their aligned path. That's their job to do that. And it's your job to do it for yourself. And you can be grateful. You can be grateful for those things and people and places and stuff. But to also just be extremely present with your body right now and what feels aligned with you. And I'm saying body because your soul already knows. And I know that when you tap into that, you actually know. You know what is aligned with you and what needs to go and what can stay and what you're ready to receive and what can come in. But your body is still very much, and I just got chills down my right arm as I said that, your body is very much still in this worldly perspective and view of feeling icky, feeling tense, like I'm like cracking my fingers down over here, and I'm just like, it feels off because we're told to feel off, to feel wrong, to feel bad, to feel guilty. When we shine, when we grow, when we glow, when we start to change our lives in a positive, more higher vibrational frequency, and others aren't allowed to be a part of that, or that they aren't brought along for the ride, or that you don't give back to them in a way that they are demanding or expecting. But just know that when you do, because it's all in your timing, it's divine timing, and you can't get it wrong, but when you do decide that these people, places, things, addictions do not align with me anymore, and you are ready to cut those cords, you are ready to set those boundaries, you are ready to walk away from those things with love and with grace and with gratefulness for those things, the universe is ready to shower you with something so much greater than you couldn't even possibly fathom. Like you might be able to feel the energy that's coming in, but I'm also hearing that it's going to be very unexpected how it's coming in and what is coming in. You might think like, oh, it's going to be more money, or oh, I'm going to be able to travel, and maybe it is those things, maybe it's all of those things, but you're not going to know exactly how and how amazing and how abundant it's coming in. And you don't need to know that. You don't need to know that. That's part of the awesome surprise. It's funny, I took my daughter to a friend's birthday party earlier this week, and she was asking about, well, why can't I tell my friend what the present is that I bought them? And I said, well, because it's a surprise, and the friend is wanting to, like, that's part of a birthday party, and part of a present and a surprise is for them to experience this anticipation and to build up this excitement and to rip open the present or open it up however, and to see what the surprise is. So if you go and tell them what you got them, that kind of diminishes and takes away from the surprise moment. And she was like, oh, okay, but aren't they still going to see it either way? I said, yes, they are going to still see it, but you want them to be able to experience it how they are ready and want to experience it. If they come and they ask you and they want to know what it is and they don't want to open the present and they just want to be told, that's another thing, I guess. But like, let them experience it at the time that they want to experience it in the way they want to experience their surprise. And they're not meant to know what it is right now. Build up that anticipation. So that's what's happening right now. This anticipation is building up inside of you. This energy is building up inside of you. And you're like, oh my gosh, it's so exciting. But like, you don't know what it is yet, but it is coming in. And you're like, oh my gosh, it feels like it's almost your birthday. And all these presents are sitting here on the table out in front of you. And you're like, oh, I think it might be this. Ooh, okay, I've been really wanting this. Ooh, I told my friend that I want that. I bet they got that for me. And you might have all these ideas of what you think it is. And maybe there's parts that are correct and right. But I'm also hearing that there's so many more gifts that you have no clue that are coming in for you, that are so divinely aligned with you. They're so divinely aligned, but you have to create the space for it. You have to wait for your birthday. You have to wait for the divine timing. And when it's aligned with you, when it's the right time, and when you have the space to do it, then it will happen. And it will come in such a shocking, surprising way, but also exactly the energy that you're feeling coming in. Because like you're tuned in. Like, you know that there's something huge, and not just one thing, but something huge is coming in so many different avenues. But the only thing that is keeping that right now stagnant, it's just swirling around you, but you're not able to fully embrace it and see what it is yet, is because you have to create the space for the things that no longer align. So if it is an addiction, if it is smoking, if it is alcohol, if it's porn, if it's video games all day, every day, whatever that addiction is for you that you feel like maybe isn't horrible, but is kind of keeping you complacent or stagnant or stuck in this place of like, well, it's giving me something, so I don't want to lose that, because then I would have nothing. I'd have this emptiness. That's a very much a worldly view that we've been taught, that if you trade out one thing that's not doing anything wrong for you, you're going to have nothing, and then you're going to miss it, and you're going to regret it, and then you're going to want to cry and come back to it. And that's not the case for you guys, for this collective. Some people who haven't done the inner work and we're only looking for instant gratification for things that And again, this is actually circling back with porn and sex right now. People that are just wanting, that haven't done the inner work to understand why they're craving sex, why they're craving porn, why they're craving this sexual gratification and desire, and not looking at what it would be like to have this deep divine love and deep connection to somebody, that where there's a very reciprocal energy, and to feel what sex would feel like with somebody who that deep connection, and maybe they've never had that, and maybe they've never done the inner work, so they're so used to this instant gratification of click and watch porn, or just sleeping with whoever they want to. And again, I'm not saying it's wrong to be able to lay down with people and want to, if that's where you feel, but I'm just saying, if you're in this place where you're feeling like there's this constant pull to be instantly gratified, and you're not doing the inner work to understand where that's coming from and why you have that perspective, and the fear that might be tied with, well, what if I stop doing those things? What if I stop sleeping around with this person? What if I stop going to porn? What if I stop smoking? What if I stop drinking? Then what am I going to do that's going to help me cope? What am I going to do that's going to make me feel better in this moment? And those are the people that feel regret and run back and say, oh, I did the wrong thing, I shouldn't have left that person, or I shouldn't have stopped smoking, or I shouldn't have stopped drinking, or oh man, now what am I going to do? But this collective has done that work. This collective has done that inner work. And yes, we might still have that mindset, the worldview of, okay, if I leave this behind, I have an empty space and then I'm left with nothing. I'm going to be lonely. I'm not going to be as happy. I'm not going to be able to cope with these things. You might have the worldview, the understanding, or the mindset of that currently that you're working through, but you have left behind things and realized that better does come in, and that you don't just run back because the instant gratification is there. You are willing and able to put in that long-term work that aligns with you to feel and see and witness and be embraced by these things that are greater and bigger. So there might be that fear attached to releasing someone or something and feeling like there's this empty hole and it's not going to be replaced. But deep down, you and your soul know that it will be replaced, and it will be with something better and more compatible and more aligned with you. I actually feel like all my other notes don't need to be said today. Really, truly, I feel like that was the message. I really feel like that was it. There's one or two other parts that I'll say that may just as synchronicities, and maybe this means something to you, but again, take what resonates and leave behind what doesn't. Like the crow landed in front of me earlier on in this video. I'm also seeing that animals and whatever your synchronistic animal is, because the universe is speaking to you, God is speaking to you through your signs and what you resonate most with, but that animals are coming to you in the exact moment that you need them, the exact sign, like however that is. You could be speaking to someone, and as you stop and take a breath, right then is when the animal shows up or makes a noise or does something. Not while you're speaking, it doesn't do it over you, or while you're driving, it's like you stop at a red light and then you see it. It's like at the right exact moment. So these animals are just confirmation and reminders to you that you're on the right path, and that you're still very much aligned and in tune with yourself, God, source, universe. You're seeing these signs and they mean something to you. That is a reminder and confirmation for you. Earbud confirmation, it was about to fall out. One other sign synchronicity that I want to bring up, that I feel called to bring up with this, is that you might be having dreams of families and friends. If this person or thing or place is a person that you're supposed to be cutting off, or you're supposed to be setting boundaries with, or removing yourself from, or removing the attachment from, if it is a person, then you might be having dreams of friends, family, or this person. However those dreams play out. But confirmation again, if it is a person that you are meant to be removing yourself from, if it is a person, you might be having dreams about them, or friends or family members, about other people. It could be, if it's a job or career, you might be having dreams about other jobs or careers that you felt more aligned with or happy with, maybe in your past, or maybe things that you see for yourself. Maybe you're having dreams about those like premonitions of new things you're about to walk into. You might be having dreams of past jobs that you felt happier at, And just, that's just, again, confirmation or reminder to follow the things that make you excited, that you feel aligned with. And even though the things that you might be presently experiencing now, the person, place, thing, addictions that you're presently experiencing now, they may not feel like there's anything super wrong with them, nothing super bad is happening, but these dreams might be coming to you as a reminder to follow not just your intuition, because that sometimes can be hard to follow when you have all of these other energies going around, all these different emotions attached to these things, people, places. But these dreams are reminding you to follow the things that make you most excited, that make you feel most fulfilled, most happy, and that can exist for you again, but not just in the experience you've had before. The dreams are reminding you that you have had those before, but that you're going to have that again, but in such a larger scale and such a bigger scale coming in. And that could be love, that could be job, that could be career, money, that could be travel, that could be family. It could be all of those things, honestly, because I'm feeling like it's more than just one thing. I'm feeling like the thing that you need to set boundaries with or cut off is one thing or one person or one place, but that all of these things coming in are multiple things. So it's this last one or two little things that are helping or that are keeping you stagnant, that you are allowing, let's take ownership, that you are allowing to keep you stuck and stagnant, that you are allowing to treat you this way, that you are allowing to stay attached to. And when you finally get to that place in your timing, divine timing, when you feel like it is now, today is the day, or this is the time, that you won't be left with this empty hole of nothingness. It will be filled with something so much more beautiful and aligned. So don't worry, okay? I know it's hard to do. We're humans. We worry. But don't worry. I'm being told to tell you guys, don't worry, because you will be taken care of. You are protected. You are being watched out for. You are by divine heavenly sources. You are being guided by your own intuition, your own light and source. And you are being sent dreams and synchronicities and signs and animals and dreams and maybe other things that resonate with you, to remind you to follow, to keep following this aligned path that you feel this pull towards. And it's hard to let go of some of those things that you feel have helped you get to the place you're at now. But I'm just reminding you, it's not your job. It is not your baggage and energy to carry, to help carry those people, places, things along with you into your success, into your up level, into your growth. It's not your job to do that. It's actually a detriment for you and to the person to force them to come with you when they're not ready, when they're not in that place for themselves. If they get to that place, if and when they get to that place, then they will. If they do not, they go on their own path. We are all on our own path. Yeah, that is the message, you guys. Wow. I love you so much. I love you so much, because this was a tough one. This was a tough message to hear, I'm sure. I know for me, I've had to, I won't go too far into it, but I've had to remove myself and go no contact with some people, but namely the person that's on my mind right now is my mom. And it's like, how, that what people say and the world says, like, how could you cut off your parents? How could you cut off your mom? And you can get defensive, you could say all your reasonings, and none of those things are wrong to get defensive or share your reasonings, but I'm not in a place to do that right here and right now, to be here and say why I have to do it and why I'm, entitled to do those things. But there are things attached, and I understand, I resonate deeply with this as well too, because I've had to do this, and I'm several years removed from having to actually cut that off. I have not been in contact with my mom since making this video for over 2 years now. So this is not a new thing, but unfortunately this worldview and this attachment that I'm still working through still follows me here. It still follows me through to this point. As I continue to see myself rise and grow and glow and change and evolve, I still have this guilt that I'm working through to understand that it's not guilt, to recognize it as a worldview that has been put upon us, that we've been told to believe, and to recognize that it's actually growth, not guilt. But I'm still working through that too, to be like, how could I be celebrating my daughter's birthday and her grandmother doesn't get to be a part of it? How can I be watching my business grow and doing more things for myself and traveling and now getting my passport and being able to travel the world without her? And it's like this extra guilt, but I have been able to, and I'm sharing this not in a gloating way, but I'm just sharing it, that it is possible and capable, and that you can do this, that you can choose to see this as growth, even if there's still a little bit of guilt attached. You can choose to say, I feel empowered and aligned with the decision I made. And if you need to step back a little bit into those past memories to remind yourself, to solidify and ground yourself of why you made those decisions. But it's okay to have a little bit of that guilt attached, but also to recognize and know that you are on an aligned path, that person no longer plays a role in your life there. And you can have love for them. You can be grateful for the times, places, things, and how they maybe did help you. But to also recognize that it's not your place to hold on to them and to keep them in your life and in your success and in your upward trajectory just so they feel good, just so they feel happy. If they were meant to do that, if they were meant to be a part of your life, they would be in your life. If they are going to come back into your life, then they will, as they go through their journey and their growth. It's not my place to keep them along and keep myself stagnant and stuck just to appease them, just to make them happy. I have to do what feels best and aligned with myself, and take that as it resonates. I'm just sharing a little bit of personal stuff. Like, so this message does resonate. And even though I'm years removed from this one specific thing, it does still follow me, and I'm working through that. And I don't know if there's ever a place where it will stop following me. I don't think there will ever be a time where I will stop thinking of my mother. I don't think there will be a time that poof, her memories just disappear. But I am getting to a place of healing and recognizing my growth and recognizing the courage, the power, the bravery it took to create that space, to remove that person, to see more love, more alignment, more abundance, more people that do support me, that don't tear me down, that don't try to hurt me, come in. And I have witnessed that. So I know it's possible. And it's something that we need to work through, and I have to work through. Let me just state for myself that I have to work through in my own mind and my worldview of my attachment with thinking that because she is my mother, because she birthed me and brought me into this world, that I have to keep giving to her for the rest of my life. Because I'm still alive and thriving, that I have to give her that. And I don't. And I have to fully, that was heavy. And I don't have to do that. I can love her from a distance. I can create the boundaries and space that I need for my alignment and my growth without being selfish, and still sending her love and still being grateful for the times and the moments that I did get with her. So take that as that resonates with you guys. I'm sending you so much love, because life is hard. Life is hard, but it's also so beautiful and so abundant. So yeah, that's all I'm going to say. I love you guys. Have a beautiful day, and I will see you guys in the next video. Bye.